All right, in other news, supporters of Guaido have ramped up pressure on President Nicolas Maduro to allow humanitarian aid into Venezuela. The opposition leader, Guaido, attended an opposition rally in Caracas on a motorbike as tens and thousands of citizens turned out against President Nicolas Maduro. Guaido announced that humanitarian aid would enter the country on the 23rd of February, setting the stage for a showdown with President Nicolas Maduro. Thousands of protesters were back on the streets of Venezuela to protest against Maduro. Maduro's adversaries say he had destroyed the once buoyant economy through a corruption-riddled exchange control system and arbitrary nationalization. Supplies of food, medicine and hygiene products are currently stockpiled in Colombia's Cucuta, but Venezuelan troops have blocked the bridge leading to the border town, so they cannot be brought into the country. Soldiers are on guard to stop U.S. humanitarian aid from entering the country. Venezuela is struggling due to shortage of food and medicines. Such humanitarian aid could increase Guaido's popularity, but Maduro says that the delivery of humanitarian aid is a show by the U.S. to overthrow his government. With his back to the wall, Maduro has launched a new policy to improve Venezuela's export as well.
Yo quiero la paz para Venezuela. Todos queremos la paz para Venezuela. Que los tambores de guerra se alejen. Que las amenazas de invasión militar se alejen. Y Venezuela diga en un solo coro, con una sola voz, queremos paz, queremos felicidad.
Now, there are fears that these protests could intensify. The military is with the Maduro government, but with the public being starved of food and medical supplies and humanitarian aid stopped at the border, things could get worse in Venezuela.
Grave por parte de los militares venezolanos. De verdad que están lamentablemente algunos apoyando algunos, porque no todos, apoyando al usurpador. Y queremos pues que ellos mismos alcen la voz y que vean al pueblo, porque ellos tienen familia también, y que vean al pueblo porque realmente se necesita de esos insumos, se necesita de esa ayuda humanitaria.
In the meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said that the U.S. would continue to recognize opposition leader Juan Guaido as the interim president. On the other hand, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says that the UN Security Council would not accept the U.S. draft resolution on Venezuela.
I think that we're now to 20 European countries which are supporting interim President Guaido. We hope that all nations will see it that way. We believe this is the right thing for freedom and democracy inside of Venezuela.
Venezuela has accused...
По большому счету поддержать задачу завязывания общенационального диалога в Венесуэле.
Thousands of opposition supporters took to the streets of Caracas and in cities across Venezuela, demanding Venezuelan armed forces allow humanitarian aid into the country. Tons of food and medicine sent from the U.S. have been piled up at the Colombian border for a week now. But President Nicolas Maduro has ordered the military to prevent any humanitarian aid from entering the country. He says there is no humanitarian crisis in Venezuela, and his government claims that the food sent by the U.S. is contaminated. Opposition leader Juan Guaido told his supporters in Caracas the humanitarian aid will get into Venezuela on February 23rd with or without the cooperation of Maduro's government. He says he is mobilizing caravans of Venezuelans to get the emergency food and medicine across the border in Colombia. At the United Nations, Venezuelan Foreign Minister Jorge Arreaza asked the UN to help pressure the United States to lift sanctions that have frozen Venezuelan assets. The Venezuelan government blames the U.S. and its sanctions for the crisis facing Venezuela. President Nicolas Maduro is under growing internal and international pressure to call early presidential elections, but that's something President Nicolas Maduro maintains he will not do.